Welcome back, moms and dads. If you're watching, I hope you're using this too. That's awesome. We're going to continue on here and start really getting into the meaty features of this, the features that are going to make your life so much easier and make organizing your photos so much easier. So I'm back in my grid view, which is where I like to work when I'm selecting photos. And I want to show you over here on this left-hand panel, you have all of the folders that you have imported. So every folder of images on my hard drive is also mirrored in my Lightroom catalog. So you will see this is my professional um, image folder, and I only have 1 year in each catalog. So this is all my sessions for 2018. Each person's folder is in here. And then all of our different family things from this year are in here as well. We don't tend to do a whole lot in the beginning of the year, so it's slim, but it will fill out as we get closer to the holidays for sure. Let's see. And I'm going to stick with this cars and coffee folder just because I know there are no naked babies in it or anything like that that might not be appropriate for the internet. So, yeah, so this is your folders view. You can select any of these. And if you have folders underneath, they will also show up. So it shows you the nested folders. Like these are my originals, but if I had one for print or if I had multiple sessions within this, like I'll show you Kista's here. She had so many sessions. She had a birth session and a Fresh 48. So I have both birth and Fresh 48. Same with Lauren's. I have birth, Fresh 48, and newborn. So it's going to show me all of those different folders so that I can select a smaller number of images to look at one time. Or you can select the entire year and look at everything for that year, but we're going to stick with this one for our purposes. All right, so you will notice that my images have flags and stars and other things on them to categorize. What's the word I'm looking for here? Basically, it lets me set my keepers and my rejects and label preferred images with star ratings and colors. And that is just phenomenal for going through photos and deciding what you want to print, what you want to put in an album, what you want to keep, and what you want to delete. Because, man, I fill up hard drives like crazy, so I need to delete the rejects for sure, and I know you do too. And your phone is probably full of photos too. So if you're importing images from your phone into Lightroom, which I'm going to show you later, you can go through those images from your phone really easily and delete all of the selfies that your kids take of themselves. Right? I know you have tons. I do too. All right, so the way that we use these features, these selection features, is basically you can click on particular images within your grid here and activate them, and you'll notice this is mirrored down here in your film strip. If you go to loop, you can look at them this way, and get that. You can use your arrow keys on your keyboard to tab from one photo to the next. All right, so we're doing that. I'm going to go back to grid here, and I am going to show you how to select photos as picks and rejects right now. Okay? So if you're looking through your thumbnails here and you see, oh, I definitely want to keep this folder. I have flagged this already as a pick, and you can see that right here. And the way that I do that is I just hit P on my keyboard. U unpicks it if you make mistakes, so I just hit U and it removed the flag. I'm going to hit P again, and it's picked. Then say you have a really horrible photo that you definitely don't want to keep, like this one's totally overexposed, and I have 14 of them all the same because I shoot in rapid succession. So if I don't want to keep this photo, then I can just hit X, and it sets it as a reject. And then when you have all of your rejects, you can go up here to Photo and hit Delete Rejected Photos. And it takes all of the photos in that selected folder that are your rejects. It will allow you to view them so you can make sure you're not deleting anything you want to keep. And then it will delete them out of the catalog and delete them off your hard drive for you. So that is fantastic. I love that feature. I use it so much. All right, so you have your picks, you have your rejects. I'm going to unpick that because I don't want to reject it actually. Then you also have star ratings and color labels that you can use. So say you have an image you really like. I loved this one of him in this car. So I gave it, I have different star ratings that I use. I use 1 star for images that I want to edit, 2 stars for images that are in the process of being edited, 3 stars for black and white, 4 stars for a fully edited color image, and then 5 stars for something that I just really, really love and want to go in my portfolio. So the way to select the star rating is you can either use the little dots down here and select your rating that way. If you make a mistake, you can just click on it and we'll go back to 0. Or you can use your number keys 1 through 5 on your keyboard, and then 0 will reset it to 0. For color labels, you can label things by color. Say you want to, so I use green for my slideshows. So if I want to put an image in a slideshow, I want to turn it green so that I can filter out all of my images for my slideshows later. And the way to set it green is to use your keys, and I think green is 8. So if I hit 8, it sets it to green. 7, yellow. I use 6, I use red to let my editor know that I've already edited this image and he should use it as a reference photo. Sometimes I'll use yellow for images that maybe need some tweaking or something like that. But you can decide for yourself how you want to categorize those. There are, so 6 is red, 7 is yellow, 8 is green, and 9 is blue. There is purple as well, but on a Mac, it doesn't have a hotkey. So I've had to set my hotkey, and I've set it as the period button. So if you want to use purple, you'll have to figure out how to go and set that to a button on your keyboard. But that is that. And if you want to undo it, you just hit the same button again, and it will remove the purple label or remove whatever color label you have. So what makes this great is you can filter by these images, and we're going to get into filtering a little bit more in the next video, but I'm going to show you quickly. So I have some images that are picked here. I can go down here, and this may not be here on yours. You'll have to turn your filters on for that to appear, but I'm just going to hit this little flag here, and it's going to, oh, I've got stars selected too, so you can filter by several different things. So I have here all of the flagged photos and unflagged photos that have 3 stars. I don't want star ratings to filter out right now, so I'm going to unclick that, and I'm going to unclick the unflagged photos. So I only have the photos that I've chosen to edit or that I've liked chosen to keep right here in my grid, and I've got all of those images right there for me. All right, you can select all of the images in your grid by hitting Command A, or I'm not sure what the hotkey is for it on the Windows computers, but on a Mac it's Command A, and that will select all of them. Or you can select, sorry, I have kids asking me questions. Okay, or you can select non-sequential images by holding down the Command key and clicking on different images. Okay, and what that allows you to do is if you, let me find one that's a little bit, that needs some adjusting. Okay, so these images are just a tad underexposed. So if I have these 2 images that are underexposed and I want to quickly lift them up to see if they're salvageable, if I can make them great, I can go here to the Quick Develop tab, and whatever I do is going to happen to both of these images. So I'm just bumping the exposure a little bit, and it's going to up the exposure for both of these images. Pretty cool. You can also move these images between folders here in your folder panel, which will move them on your hard drive as well. So if I want to move these two folders, say they ended up in the wrong folder, or move these two images to another folder because they ended up in the wrong folder, or I have different folders, subfolders that I want to move them into, all you have to do is select them and then click on one. In the image portion, if you click on the little gray part, it won't drag, but it's going to drag both of those images, and I can put them in whatever folder I want to. It will move them both within the catalog, and then it's going to give you a pop-up to ask you if you want to move them on the hard drive as well. Pretty cool. Also, if you need to rotate an image, say you had an image that you took in vertical, but for some reason your phone or your camera was tilted and didn't register that it was a vertical image, and gives it to you in landscape format here in the catalog, you can hit Command and then one of your bracket keys will rotate those images for you, and you can do them all at once, so you don't have to rotate individual images if you have a large section of or a large series of images that were all a little bit wonky. So that is pretty awesome, and yeah, so that's it. Oh, I will show you if you're comparing images here. Let's go back to, okay, I need to take my filter off. So I have all of my images back again. And I'm going to go back to these two images that I showed you earlier. Okay, so I'm looking at these two images and I want to decide which one to keep. This is the image that I've got selected, and this is my candidate. I like this one better because she doesn't have any light in her eyes here. Even though she's looking, it's just not a very good image. So you can click on the little reject here and decide not to keep that image if you don't want to. And there you have it. Pretty cool. Let's see, is there anything else that I'm forgetting? Okay, same with survey. You can do the same thing. You go back to and get these 4 images. You can see all 4 of these images, and you can see that the ones that have flags. So this one is flagged, this one's flagged as a reject, this one is unflagged, and this one is flagged. I've decided I do want to keep this, so I'm going to unflag it so that I don't accidentally delete it when I delete my rejected photos. And there you have it. If you want to eliminate an image from selection or from the survey, you can just click the X and it will go away, but keep the other 3. And I think that is it for selecting images. We're going to go through filtering in the next video, and that is going to change your life. So stick around and come back for the next video. See you soon.